Nick, I would take out on 1.2 new enterprise. You just need to put enterprise, because Dick's right. Most of the expansion of business will come from the businesses we already have.
Very good.
So you really don't need the word new when you say pursue and attract. That's new. So it's redundant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Is that Ann?
Yep, it's Annie.
Annie, okay.
My only comment was on that one is that I know we use the word tourism and local tourism, but we should also look at ecotourism.
Ecotourism.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities here with like the Roberts Ranch and having.
It's on further, okay. If you look further down in the policies, I think they mentioned ecotourism.
Oh, yeah.
1.3.4, the whole section on ecotourism, okay?
Well, but I do appreciate the point. The policy doesn't say it here, but there's more detail in the objectives, but it's a good point. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? I'll tell you about my dream when it comes to ecotourism a little bit. I like to go things like Costa Rica. I think we do similar to you. Okay. We're on 1.4.
Okay, 1.4 again. This one deals really with quality of life, and I would say, across the spectrum, to enhance and expand educational and cultural facilities and opportunities in Immokalee. I mean, it's kind of like if somebody has a problem with that, they don't like apple pie. So.
Anybody got any concern? Just for your general information, I'll come back to you in a minute, 1 second, Pam. Just for your general information, why don't you talk about our identity as a green developer and trainer or something?
Huh. Well,
Share with me.
well, we are very interested in xeriscaping as opposed to heavy landscaping that requires a lot of water and a lot of fertilizer and a lot of other things we're doing green. We had the Florida Solar Energy Center come down and train us, and people came from all over the state, about 60 different people. And we were tested and were certified as green building inspectors. So if you're going to rehab or if you're going to build a new unit, we can walk through all the steps that you need to go through to get that unit certified as green. And I'll just tell you from my own perspective, I built a new house in Highlands County under these green specifications, and I haven't had a light bill over $40 in a full year. So, I mean, there's lots of good reasons to go green for your pocketbook.
So if you get ready to do anything new and different, come see Penny, and she can help you get started in that direction.
The only thing that I wanted to say about the educational opportunities is we need to update the recent things that have been going on with the Chamber of Commerce and Education Committee. And there's some fantastic partnerships building up, ITech and Hodges.
Okay, hold on a minute. So everybody know, there's some new partnerships that have been developed out of Hodges University, the Workforce Board, and all those, to make sure we have a nice network, that we can make sure we can train our workforce, get everybody trained, just like any major immigrant central, to make sure people are ready to go out to the work world and do the best they can. Okay, Pam?
On policy 1.3.5 about a Seminole Casino, where it says that Collier County will work with the Seminole Tribal Council to promote the Seminole Casino. Can we also maybe have some sort of partnership with the Seminoles? I mean, if we're going to help them, they also would also help us.
Yep.
I love it. Don't send me as the ambassador.
Well, I would, let me try to say this as appropriately as I can. I have been unable or unsuccessful to meet with anybody there yet, so if anybody can get me in the door, I'm sure wouldn't mind meeting with them.
Okay, one of the problems you have over there is the following. We were able to get
I did lose some money, but I haven't been able to get a meeting.
They have a very clear instruction. A lot of stuff is happening over in Hollywood and not happening over here, and they give the direction over here. But,
That's a great suggestion.
okay, yeah. When the trade port DRI, unfortunately they had pulled that application, when the trade port DRI was working through the system, there were meetings between the tribe and the trade port to make sure they had access at common locations, okay? So we're going to keep on trying to be as a good partner to them, so we can support and help them with some of the things they're doing, and they understand what we're trying to do about the tourists going downtown, which also helps their kind of thing.
Mutually beneficial.
But if anybody has a close relationship with Mitchell Cypress, let me know and we'll get close to him. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, we're up to 1.5.
Promote and support development and redevelopment initiatives in Immokalee. Again, development being across the board.
Why don't you describe what that really means to a layperson?
Okay, well, development is really tied to both residential or non-residential, so it could be commercial, it could be industrial, it could be institutional, but that's tied to the attraction of whatever opportunities might arise to make sure that we're at the table we have a shot at. The Immokalee community, if they want that kind of development. The redevelopment is just what it talks about. It's creating a regulatory climate, as Mitch alluded to, that fosters redevelopment that isn't so expensive or so disincentivized that causes people to put a Band-Aid on a structure because they don't want to deal with Collier County's regulatory process. But versus that says, we're going to support you in the redevelopment process financially through the regulatory process or through whatever process we can, so that we can have new and improved structures.
As we increase our tax base, the CRA will be in a position, in order to attract the business or help make a development fit, to put some infrastructure in. We'll be in that kind of a position, and we will be doing on an annual basis a capital improvement plan where we can talk about the kind of things we only have input on a continuing basis on into the future. Okay? Any more questions? Any more thoughts on that? Moving on to objective 2.
Yeah, to encourage the provision of a diversity of housing types and safe standard housing.
I know everybody doesn't know me. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing bad about that. Okay. We can just go on. We can go on.
I mean, I heard Barbara's comments.
We got Barbara's comments. Yes, sir.
And I've got comments, and I've shared them with Bob, and I'll leave a written copy. And I think, having a diversity of housing is very important. One of the comments that I'll have about farm worker housing is a lot of the programs that currently exist are oriented more to domestic farm workers and not specifically considering the H-2A program. And so I'm sensitive to the fact that, given with the changes that are happening, we might begin to see more and more H-2A housing. A lot of these programs don't anticipate that.
Well, the only way I was able to get housing for that was for them, because usually you have to go to the Department of Agriculture to get the housing, and they always want to use their hard side, and you got to be a permanent resident. When I got the money for that dormitory, I told Jeff Bush, I said, you want me to help you with those folks you had the hunger strike with? And then you got to give me enough money so I have no debt service. When I occupy, you asked me one question on a farm worker. He realized what the problem is. It's only been twice in history that they've used money to provide housing for non-residents. And that's after Andrew, down in that whole area down there. And with this last one that we just did, to get that dormitory up, when they hooked up with the governors from Washington and Oregon to deal with that problem. So I don't know how we can do it, but, we're trying to make sure in here, I think we've got it in here somewhere, where in some of our light industrial zones, where you can have some supportive housing that solves that particular kind of need. Okay?
I think that was one of my comments too, incorporate some of the H-2A programs.
I made it known.
Also, I think that something that's kind of totally missing is workforce or middle class housing. There's just a gap, a housing gap.
Well, that's why we said diversity, but you need more specifically in the policy.
Housing, to address the housing gap, and that's really clearly on all these.
Denise?
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance, obviously, to review.
I can't hear you.
I haven't had a chance to review what Barb said, but one of the things that we worked on was that, do we have sufficient farm worker housing? If we no longer have waiting lists and things like that for current farm worker housing in place. So my question is are these written in light of the current situation where we may have sufficient farm worker housing, domestic, or maybe convert domestic to H-2A. My question would be what is that current data that these policies are based on?
That's why he made the kind of comment he made,
Right.
because a lot of the farm
Well, they're based on its current data, they're just sort of broad goals and objectives of policy. Now, if you want, what you're suggesting, I think what you're suggesting